Hey now, it's JK with you here, and I had to make you this video because I've just gone through a really interesting consultation, I guess, for lack of a better word, with ChatGPT. Specifically, it was a custom AI ChatGPT that was set up by Perdew Lawson, you can see over here, and she's called it the Profit Hunter. Now, one thing I want to let you know right away before we continue, if you want to go and check out this page and read more about this, there's a button underneath this video, but the main thing I want to let you know is that even though I said it's a ChatGPT add-on, you don't actually have to be a paid ChatGPT user. You can actually use the free ChatGPT, and you can still plug in this little Profit Hunter bot that Jen has created. Now, this is $27, and it is basically something that is there to help find all of the holes inside of your either affiliate campaign, or maybe if you're creating your own product, if you have your own email list or something like that, it's there to help you find specific projects you're working on where the profit is leaking from. And so basically the page, which you can click on down below, there's a button underneath this video, will walk you through the different reasons why solopreneurs, infopreneurs I would call them, people who deal with information as affiliates or putting together content courses, all that sort of stuff. The number one reason why people lose money and don't scale is because they have these leaks inside of their business. Now, this is not the sort of normal thing that you see on Warrior Plus or JVZoo, where it's typically all about, do this quicker, make money faster, get more traffic here. All that stuff is great, and it's really helpful for being an affiliate. But this is the real stuff that when you get into like coaching and consulting, this is the stuff that you have to think about. And just by sitting here having this consultation with this custom ChatGPT, it's made me realize that I think this actually might be a certain way where we're actually headed towards real AI coaches trained on really good information. Because let me show you here. This is the actual custom GPT that was set up. I mean, I'll take you through the entire conversation in a little bit, but I want to show you the actual main takeaway, the kind of the assessment of everything that I've gone through in this little consultation, which took about 15-20 minutes, a little less than that. So this is for a real product that I am an affiliate for. It's called Journeys, and this is, I'll just show you the product here. This is what the offer is, JRNYS, and it's basically a way for someone to go and get a subscription, not a subscription, a prescription through a licensed health professional in the US for either Ozempic or Mounjaro or Zepbound or Saxenda. They also do it for a generic Viagra pill as well. Obviously, that's not for women, that's for men. But they do have all these different offers. And actually, I got an email just this morning, which I actually posted a screenshot of here inside my 10X Mastermind, where my payout on this product has now gone from $195 up to $225. So I'm getting a $225 payout for getting someone to subscribe to this plan and actually, not subscribe to any one of these treatments, but actually become a member of Journeys, go through the process of consultation, and once they qualify and they actually get approved for one of these medications, I get my payout, which was $195, and now it's down to $225. Now, this is a relatively new campaign. The whole reason I'm telling you about this is because I wanted to plug this campaign into this consultation bot that Jen has put together, and I wanted to see what sort of things it would recommend. Now, I've been an affiliate marketer for many years. I already know what I'm doing with this campaign, but I was really curious to see what this bot was going to say. And I have to say, I was really, really impressed by all the things that it pointed out. And even in the process of having the conversation, as weird as that sounds, with this custom ChatGPT, which has been trained on everything that Jen has showed it here inside of her own back end of the Profit Hunter. And she goes through in the members area and kind of talks about the things that have set this up and some of the case studies that have been successful with this. But ultimately, when you get in here, you're going to want to actually go and have this consultation and use it many, many times over. If you're doing an affiliate list building campaign, or you're running traffic through native or whatever it might be, you're able to plug it all in here and help this use this bot to help you find areas where you're leaking profit. So I went in and dropped all this information in it, and just by it asking me these different questions, it makes you think about the campaign. It makes you think about the different little things. And even though coming into this, I already knew what I wanted to focus on, I was really impressed with the direction that this went to actually come up with its overall assessment. So let me show you what it said, which was really, really fascinating. So at the moment, right, I have no list, no welcome sequence, and no re-engagement for any traffic I'm getting for my own campaign that I'm running to the Journeys product over here. Now, I already know that. That's totally fine. It's because it's in this first phase of development. I'm not going to start, going deep into emails and stuff like that if the actual campaign isn't going anywhere. But now that it's actually starting to go somewhere, this is number one thing that is on our list of things to do that we want to get worked on. So it's nice to see that this agreed fully and was like, hey, you need to have an email list because every visitor who doesn't buy is being lost forever. I love that it's pointed that out because it's actually very accurate. And as we go through, I'm not going to read over every single word in here, but this is what's really, really interesting. So right now, this campaign is doing around 5K per month. And earlier in the conversation with this little custom bot, it asked how much I'm making from the campaign, and it just had to give this price range right here. So the estimated monthly revenue, just by adding in this email list, is absolutely on the money. If I add an email list to this campaign, once it's at a point where it's ready for that to be added in, this is going to generate easily an extra $1,000 to $2,000 on top of the $5,000 that we're already making in sales per month. So there's no doubt that the numbers here are also really, really accurate, and it identified in my campaign, just by me giving it the bare minimum of information, the number one thing that I needed to do to fix it, which is pretty cool. The other thing here is that it actually went a little bit deeper. And again, it just kind of showed me right here, you need to improve your calls to action. Now, it actually went down that rabbit hole because it asked me for things like my click-through rate. It asked me for my conversion rate, all the data that I had to provide. And it said, hey, your calls to action could actually be a little bit stronger. It's not something I'd considered, but within the context of this first phase, it's definitely something that I could be working on. And then we down this list building part here, it's already kind of talked about a little bit. And then right here, this engagement bridge. So the content is informative. I've already shared the ideas of what the content is in this conversation with the bot, but there's no emotional or relational bridge between education and purchase. I'm skipping the trust moment that lets Karen, which is, it's already created the avatar for me, by the way, call her Karen, believes that Journeys is safe, legitimate, and right for her. It actually identified in the avatar, which I didn't even ask it to build, it put together a very accurate avatar of who we are running our advertising for, and 100% one of the main things that we identified is that this avatar is interested in safety of their products, legitimacy of the use, and making sure that it's right for her. Now, we have our own avatar that we put together before we actually started running this campaign, but it's so interesting that this ChatGPT, this custom ChatGPT that Profit Hunter is, went and recognized that, hey, here's a whole avatar I've just put together that would help you with your advertising. And I never even mentioned that we had one put together, but to see so much similarities is really, really impressive. And then we have down here, obviously, the number one priority is to put together that email and that list building system. Now, the one thing that this is not able to replicate, and this is why I say we're kind of heading towards this whole world of AI coaches, which sounds really, really crazy, but if I think maybe 5 years from now, I don't see any reason why all the information I have, all the knowledge I have about affiliate marketing, why couldn't I just upload all of that through a series of notes and interview questions and a whole bunch of other stuff, and also previous coaching notes? Why couldn't I upload that and eventually have some sort of AI coach that you could bring issues, questions, things like that to, and actually try and get some sort of answer? So I feel like, that's way down the road, but this is the first time I've ever had this sort of interaction with an AI bot that was both accurate and very on point for exactly what I need to do for this next part of my email campaign, and actually through the process of having this consultation revealed quite a lot of things and maybe think about quite a few things in the campaign. So let me take you through everything that we went through. This is kind of the generic prompt you use. If you want to add this in, by the way, once you're actually here inside the members area, you just click on this button here to get the Profit Hunter ChatGPT link. You just click on that, it adds it right into your account, and you start using it. Now, like I said, you don't even have to have a paid ChatGPT account. I am a paid user, but if you just have a free account, you can still go and answer all these questions in the same way. So then it says, hey, I'm your Profit Hunter, blah, blah, blah. And this is basically where I gave it the rundown of the products that I'm actually offering. So you can see here, what is the offer? I just told it really simply. I didn't go, super, super deep or anything. This was just very surface level. I wanted to see where this would go. And it says basically here, tell me more about the product. Then it goes through and I basically gave a little breakdown of essentially what the actual offer is, and then says how much do you expect to make or how much are you making? We're in this range at the moment. And again, it's just very, very, very simple, little answers to these questions. I didn't go super in depth with big paragraphs or anything like that. And one other cool thing here is that inside of the members area, let me take you back over here, there are these little worksheets that you can complete. So this is what one of these little worksheets looks like, and it's basically a prep sheet. So in preparation for actually having this consultation with the chatbot, it basically goes through and asks you some of the questions that you're going to get, so you can kind of plan out ahead of time. This was actually really helpful to go and just, again, think about what it is that I'm going to be saying and how I'm going to answer these questions. It's like if you have a test coming up, but someone gives you the questions ahead of time, you can kind of do a little bit better and you can get more out of it. That's pretty much how it felt going through this. Then I gave it some list of my content. I gave it basically over and over again. I don't have an email list. I want to have a list. As you can see, just simple one-line answers. I really didn't go in deep into this at all. And it gave me this really very, very, very good customer avatar, which again, I didn't even ask for this. It just spat this out to me. And then also gave me a breakdown of everything that I need to work on. So 100%, I think this was a very enlightening process. It's nice to see something in the marketplace that isn't all about the hype of traffic or this or brand new loophole or new hack found or anything like that. Just really simple business moving forward stuff. That's really something that I think has been lacking a lot in a lot of different marketplaces. And this definitely hits the nail on the head for me. I really enjoyed this. For 27 bucks, I'm going to be using this multiple times based on how effective this was. And when I start giving it information on new stuff that I don't already have the answers to and I'm looking for answers, I'm going to feel pretty confident that I'm going to be getting some good quality feedback from this. So absolutely love this. Can't recommend it enough. If this is the sort of thing that you're into, if you want to kind of move away from the hypey stuff and just look at business building development stuff, I think this was a really fantastic thing to go through. So thanks to Jen for putting this together. If you want to go and check it out, there's a link underneath this video. Real results, real profit, real fast, real impressed, I gotta say. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I'll see you next time.